and a loaf in the oven makes every home seem more snug. I mean, it gets you invited into a world of cooking that you've probably never explored. So this is January's book of the month, and we're going to do one for each month of the year. Now, are they any specific order? No. Are they all going to be recipes? No. Some of them are going to be about food, and you're going to learn things about food based on these books, and we'll probably go into a little bit more detail. However, I want to go ahead and get this one out for you because this one's special to me. So my suggestion for the month is going to be James Peterson's Cooking. I got started with this cookbook back in college, and it honestly was probably one of the greatest things that I was able to grasp. And the reason being is because I love food. I love cooking it, I love making it, I love eating it. But a very simple meal is a good meal. However, doing all of your meals by the directions of the ingredients on the box or maybe in someone's one pot dish, honestly, you're missing out. Now, where did I start cooking? Long time ago. I was cooking when I was a kid, and honestly, I would go in between school and practice, and I'd make pork chops. You know, we had the big pack of sliced pork chops you can get from the store. We just had those in the freezer, and that was pretty much what I would eat in between going from school and going to practice, which is about an hour and a half or so. So I'd have about 1 to 2 pork chops if I was hungry, and it was a nice introduction to cooking for me. It helped me understand the grill, the griddle, as well as the stovetop, and it's something that as I got a little older, I wanted to enhance. So when I got off to college, it was no longer my mom made the food for us at dinner or dad might have cooked. It was, you had the lunch lady cooking or you were cooking, or you could go and get something to eat, but I didn't have those kind of funds. So I liked to learn to cook because between waiting tables, playing soccer, going to college, all at the same time, I didn't have a lot of time for myself, though cooking was the ability for me to have that time. And that's something that I'm thankful for, but I know that I wouldn't have been able to do that, honestly, without any other influence than the ones that thankfully Food Network gave me and probably gave many of you, but specifically this book. So this is Cooking by James Peterson, and it's honestly probably the greatest thing that happened to me when it comes to cooking, because it allowed me to elevate myself from just cooking a normal meal, the simple same old green bean casserole, which, by the way, I love. Do not disagree with making that at any time of the year, honestly. But instead of just making that, you're able to go in there and say, can I do it with a twist? Can I add a different flavor? Can I expand on the concept of what the basic recipe and ingredient is? And how do we do that? Well, we first have to become comfortable with our ingredients, right? And we have to be comfortable with some cooking techniques, because that's really the most important part of this. If we're not comfortable with cooking techniques in general, we're not going to know them, or we're not going to do them because, well, quite frankly, you're probably just not going to do it right. This one's one that you should always have in your kitchen, and I've had it since, I think, 2008, and I love this book because if I ever need anything or if I have any questions, I can go back to this and understand a step-by-step process of what it is I need to do. And fortunately, it's kind of like Clifford the Big Red Dog, because it gives you a whole mess of stuff. But check out all those photos. Like, who doesn't like that? Cooking is a pretty comprehensive cookbook that covers a wide range of cuisines as well as culinary techniques that you're going to be able to use in the kitchen. And don't be afraid of it. It's pretty easy to follow. It is organized by ingredient, which makes it a lot easier to be able to navigate through. And you can kind of learn one thing at a time. Whereas most cookbooks that you're finding in the store are make this full-on recipe, and you really never understand why. Well, that's what this is going to cover. Not only is it organized by the ingredient, but inside there it's laid out beautifully with photos and detailed directions, so you'd be able to learn step-by-step processes and those techniques that you're wanting to be able to make yourself a better cook. So this is why I love this book. It's because it gives you everything you need to know to be able to get started. And it kind of entices you to want a little more. Like, you can make a lamb stew, you could do tenderloin sandwiches, you could even make an entire brioche loaf, or you could learn how to make brioche buns for your sandwiches or burgers. Most of the things that you want to make are going to be in here. Now, you might see things in here that are like warm sea urchin roe mayo, or you might even just have regular pesto. But don't be afraid of what's in here. Understand that it's up to you to be able to be willing to explore. The book's only here to be able to give you the ideas that others have brought. Now you take that knowledge, you learn how those flavors work together, and let's have think of it as the ratatouille moment, right? You know, where he eats the cheese and eats the grape at the same time, and music and symphonies and all of that fun stuff comes to play. We want that. One of my favorite things that I loved about this book when I was in college is that it had a wide range of things that I could do. I could learn how to sharpen a knife, obviously, but that's, most of these types of cookbooks will have something of that sort. But I understood how to, cut certain cuts of meat, how to make, a Caesar dressing from scratch. And yeah, you can find that on the internet or whatever it may be, but me being able to have that connection with the chef, that's something that it's a slight little bit of a bond that a lot of people take for granted, because our typical cookbooks are just throw it in a pot and see how it works. And that's not wrong, but that just seems so easy. And you don't ever understand why. The cool thing about this book is that we're going to be able to do a lot of new things that might be out of our realm or the wheelhouse that we're uncomfortable with. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a comfort level, and everyone, wants to be able to get there when they get there and move beyond it when they move beyond it. Some of us may not, and the warm sea urchin roe may not be for you. But there's a great Caesar dressing that's available. There are many breads, many pies, many tarts, many things that you can do with lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, fish, anything, honestly. If you think that a chef in a finer dining restaurant's made it, it's most likely an opportunity out of this book you can take and put into your home. And I love that. Okay, so head down to the description below and I'll get the Amazon link in there for you to be able to go ahead and get the book. If you have any questions or concerns, or there's something that you're having trouble with the cookbook, throw it in the comments here. I'll check on them regularly to see if there's anything that we can help with. We might be able to create a video on something that you may need to be helped with a lot faster than I'm going to get to. I'm going to cover most of the things in this book while we're here on this channel. A lot of these techniques are something that you're going to use over a period of time. And yeah, I can't wait. So I hope that you get the book. I hope that you enjoy the book. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to write in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Tasting Gold. My name's Zach. See you later.